is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Kev Capital Chart of the Day series, where we spend 5 minutes or less pulling back the curtain on some of the most important charts in the crypto market and what it means for you. First and foremost, this is the first video of the new year, and I just wanted to say Happy New Year. So let's just jump right into it. So what you see on this chart is Bitcoin. Very simple, right? Just the Bitcoin chart on the 2-day time frame. But what you also see is the purple and the blue lines, and these are moving averages. This is the 2-day time frame, 200 EMA and SMA, okay? And today we're going to talk about the importance of these two moving averages based off history and based off where we currently are. Now, if you guys watch my videos or if you're in the Patreon, you know that I talk about this a lot, right? These two moving averages. And a lot of people focus on the 50-week moving average, and I do too, but I think the 2-day 200 EMA and SMA is more precise in terms of its significance towards how Bitcoin has reacted in previous cycles. So that's typically what I use, and I prefer to kind of focus on it for this video because I'm going to show you how important it is and what we're going to need to see Bitcoin do here in the coming weeks and months, right? So we'll kind of start back all the way at 2014, right, to show you the significance here. So as you can see, in the 2014-2013 cycle, right, Bitcoin came down and retested the 2-day 200 EMA and SMA. It never once lost it during its bull run, right? So very standard, similar to the 50-week SMA, Bitcoin typically holds these moving averages throughout a bull run. Now, as you can see here, when you came back and retested it, you ended up getting a big bounce, but inevitably once it was lost, right, as you can see here, it was lost in late 2014. You do come back up and retest it again, but then it obviously failed and the more aggressive stages of the bear market began. Okay, so you understand the point. Throughout that bull market, you hold the 2-day 200 EMA and SMA. Once it's lost, you come back up and retest it, and then ultimately it fails, and then you go into the more aggressive stages of the bear market. That's what happened in the first cycle, right? So there's your significance right there off the bat. Let's move to the next cycle, okay? So as you can see here in 2018, Bitcoin came down, hey, had a big drop after this major bull run in 2017 and tested the 2-day 200 EMA and SMA. We had a huge bounce. Then we came back down and tested it again. Got another huge bounce. Then you came back down and lost it, right? This was the beginning stages of the bear market, right? You had your initial major corrective phase. You get your bounces. You got 2 of them. And then ultimately you fell through, came back up and tested them twice, right? Just peeked your head above it the first time, but ultimately failed. Came back up again and tested it and failed. Then obviously the more aggressive stages of the bear market began after that, okay? So this is 2 cycles ago, okay? So you're seeing already the similarities between how significant these two moving averages have been later cycle for Bitcoin. Let's move to the next cycle, right? This is our previous cycle. Very, very similar thing happened here, right? You had your major run up in 2020. Then you came back down and tested them, okay? You held them. Everyone thought the bear market was beginning right here, but it wasn't. You ended up having another major rally back to the upside. Then we came back down and ultimately lost them. Everyone thought the bull market was going to continue here, the opposite effect of from May 21. But you couldn't get back above these moving averages, and ultimately you failed them and started the more aggressive stages of the bear market. The same exact thing played out 3 cycles in a row. So where are we at now? As you can see, this cycle, we've come down and tested the 2-day 200 EMA 3 different times this cycle and held it each time. But most recently, we fell through them, okay? So in the coming weeks, right? Because obviously, in my opinion, right, I think that Bitcoin is getting closer here to the end of its major corrective phase, this initial phase where it loses these. I do think at some point, Bitcoin's going to come back up and test these moving averages in between 96K and 101. I think Bitcoin will probably test that 96 to 106.8K range. The question then becomes, can Bitcoin break back above these key moving averages? If you're simply going off history and just the technicals, Bitcoin would come back up here and form a lower high and roll back over. However, a lot of people, right, including myself, understand that there are some massive fundamental macro differences this cycle. So will Bitcoin have the opportunity to do this? Yes, it will have the opportunity. We should see at some point a retest of these moving averages. I would think anytime within the next month or two, right? Maybe even sooner than that. Then from there, a lot of questions will be answered. Does anyone know what's going to happen for certainty? No, I don't know for certainty what Bitcoin's going to do here. I just want this to be on your radar because I will be watching Bitcoin like a hawk along with USDT dominance in how it reacts with these two key major moving averages. And to me, that'll be a massive pivotal point in the historical nature of Bitcoin at that point to see if can we break back above it and defy history, right? Or does the same thing happen and we just roll over? So that's what I'll be watching for. That's what you should be watching for. This video went a little longer, but if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment below. Look at the links in the description below. And you guys have again, Happy New Year and have a nice day. Peace out.